and give him $100 for his reelection. And so he's causing suffering on tens of thousands of people in his home state of Georgia. Senator Ossoff ought to send that tainted, dirty money back. If he's raised $3 million off of the shutdown, off of the suffering he's caused, just so that he can get some more money from radicals around the country, go look at his finance report during the shutdown. The low.
Oh, hell. Oh, this is finna get a little spicy. Y'all know Rick gonna come across something. Rick got to see what's going on. Oh, shoot. Somebody grab that Diddy. Oh, they got that Diddy. Oh, they got that Epstein. Oh, shoot. I think somebody ought to go to jail, prison, slammer yard, put your hands behind your back. Somebody ought to be walked out in handcuffs. Yep. Oh, yeah. We ain't playing around. I'm sick of every last one of y'all. I'm sick of all these politicians. I think somebody ought to be in jail, prison. You know, I'm sick of Washington. You know, we ought to do a sweep. It ought to be a sweep. Take everybody's suit off. Yeah. It ought to be audits everywhere. Yeah, it ought to be all kind of people slammed against the wall, thrown against the floor. You know, patted down, frisked down. I tell you, then spit on the American people, lied to the American people. Shoot.
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey.
Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. And you try to kill our we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Boy, boy, oh boy, what a time to be alive, you know. Quite frankly, we do not know what to expect next, man. But I do hope that everybody that's tuned in right now, that you are blessed, well, and healthy, that you are having a great weekend. And again, we love doing this show every single day, man. Get into things that you guys send me, email me, DM it to me, you know, or tag me in, and just breaking the news, keep you informed. And I want to just thank you guys for always keeping me in the loop, man, with everything, you know, even if, again, we agree or disagree on it, you know, or if, you know. But before we get into the main part of today's show, I want to check, you know, some pretty cool things going on right now. Now, thousands of Charlie Kirk Freedom shirts have been handed out to the attendees at the UFC 322 at the Madison Square Garden, New York City. It says, awesome. Charlie is everywhere. This is going on right now. They all got the Freedom shirt on. Yeah, this is awesome. It's pretty cool, you know. But y'all know Trump is making his headlines, and Trump is everywhere right now, with Epstein files being one of the most things trending right now for politics. As well as the whole back and forth right now with Marjorie Taylor Greene. And also trending right now is MAGA. MAGA is trending right now. And, you know, let me know how you feel about everything right now. You know, people are saying it's been a terrible week for Trump. And people say they love what Trump is doing. They love what Trump said on this, you know. But Kevin said this was low. Trump says, did Thomas Massie sometimes refer to as Rand Paul Jr. because of the fact that he always votes against the Republican Party? Get married already? Boy, that was quick. No wonder the polls have him at less than 8% chance of winning the election. Anyway, have a great life, Thomas. And question mark, his wife will soon find out that she's stuck with a loser. Oh boy. And Kevin said that was low. And, you know, people in the comments are saying, yes, it is. It was. But I still like Trump. I definitely don't agree with everything that he said, he does or says. He could definitely use a filter sometimes. But I'll take someone that has no filter over a liar any day. Is it? Massie's wife died a year ago. Within weeks of her death, he had clearly gone through a glow up, new hair, new glasses, new wardrobe. Then 1 year later, he marries a registered Democrat, former staffer of another congressman. She is young enough to be his daughter. Yeah, because Massie never goes low, Kevin. And, you know, this was when they were, you know, on Capitol Hill, with, you know, Marjorie Taylor Greene with the Epstein victims. And, you know, in the background, people were holding up signs that says Trump is on the list, release the files, and he's a pedo, you know, and stuff like that. And again, one reason why Marjorie Taylor Greene is getting so much backlash right now. But again, y'all, a lot is going on, man, in the world of politics. Massive crowds. This is massive crowds now gathering outside of White House demanding Trump's resignation in the wake of Epstein email release. The political temperature in D.C. is exploding.
I want you to know one of the most beautiful things about this movement, people across this country,
oh hell,
to come to D.C. and build the power of the people to drive to know one of the most
out here and see people in their 70s and 80s. I am inspired.
Oh hell, Trump's a fascist. Trump must go now. Trump must go now. Say no to Trump. What the hell? Okay, y'all just, you know, if they was giving out free popsicles, y'all would stand out there. Hell, family, be honest. If they were giving out free popsicles and ice cream, they would be standing out there. You know, I ain't lying to you. But this brings me to this. This was sent in by, shout out to Rachel for bringing this to my attention. You won't believe what was just leaked, and from Hive Mind, and I was like, whoa, what's going on? But it says the Democrats always put America last and their party first. It's sickening. 160 years later, and the Dems are still fighting to keep their slaves. If the Republicans were the ones keeping the government closed, then why were all the liberals so mad that the Democrats caved? Make it make sense. And it's just me, or does anyone else think that everything wrong with America is the Democrats' fault? Oh boy, so let's check this out, man.
Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. And here's your meme of the day, brought to you by FiveMind.com. Holy frickin' crap, so I guess the mask just slips. You know, it's so funny how we're always proven right. You know, we kind of run on the Occam's razor theory for the most part. We just come to the most obvious conclusion and then simply say it, and the left always recoils and says, that's fake news, that's just a Republican talking point, it's slander. And relating to this whole shutdown, it's been obvious since the start that this whole ordeal has been political. The pain was the leverage, not to get something beneficial for the people, not to do good, but to juice up Democrat numbers, Democrat support, and now we're learning Democrat fundraising. Just like the whole George Floyd thing and the whole BLM summer of riots, the entire premise was racial inequality, making life better for black people. But what'd you get? Worse off neighborhoods, homelessness crisis, crime crisis, zero investment in infrastructure or anything of actual relevance. No, what you actually got was money taken away from your public safety funding and funneled into more Democrat bureaucracy, more social workers, and useless freaking bureaucrats who accomplish nothing, and of course, billions of dollars funneled into the Democrat machine through Act Blue donations that were flying everywhere. Well, that's exactly what happened during this shutdown, folks. It wasn't about helping people. It wasn't about fighting for those who are dependent on government-funded programs. No, it was using you as the pawn. You were the leverage, shutting down your life to cause mass moral panic so Democrats could fundraise moving into the 2026 election. We all know that post-2024 election, after Kamala Harris blew billions of dollars on her freaking campaign for absolutely nothing, we know the Democrat fundraising coffers have been essentially empty. They don't have a whole lot of cash on hand.
They still trying to reach out to Oprah on the weekends, not non-business days, business hours. They still trying to get that money back. She riding down there in her Range Rover. They still trying to get that money back, Oprah. They said she won't even pick up the phone. What a disgrace. Maybe y'all should have gave Beyonce a little more money to come down here and turn Texas purple. Blue. Y'all want to turn Texas purple so bad. Y'all should have gave out a little more money. Yeah. Ran through the money, blew the money, huh? I tell you, couldn't get Beyonce to sing a song. All the pretty ladies stand up. Couldn't get her to sing a song, huh? What a disgrace, man. Tell you, the hell with these politicians, the hell with a celebrity. You know. Then they ought to walk that heifer out. They ain't gonna release a book. Yeah, I'm not gonna choose him as my running. He's gay. She done wrote a book exposing everything. You know.
And so it seems the shutdown was political profiteering, disguised as courageous political empathy and standing up. Give me a frickin' break. The whole thing got exposed. Steve Scalise hits us with an absolutely damning report. Let me show you guys exactly what happened here. We got Georgia vendors, federal workers, and everyday families were being caused pain. Their Democrat senator, Mr. John Ossoff, well, he wasn't focused on reopening the government so they could get their lives back on track. No, he was focused, apparently, on crisis email campaigns to rake in millions of dollars from small amount out-of-state donations. He was vying for that California money as Georgians were suffering, exactly as Steve Scalise puts it. Take a look at this.
Another Democrat said Senator Ossoff's calculation is, quote, do I vote to open the government up and get crushed and can't raise a single dollar of low-dollar money?
Oh, hell.
Or do I vote to shut the government down and get $3 million from online fundraising? Jeez. That's disgusting.
Oh, hell. Somebody come over here and slap me upside the head and tell me what to do. Did I just hear this correctly? Somebody come in here and hit Rick upside the head and tell me I'm hearing this correctly. Should it? Oh, hell. I'm hearing it correctly.
Senator Ossoff is more concerned about getting low-dollar donations from maybe some donor in California who's going to click on an email and give him $100 for his reelection. And so he's causing suffering on tens of thousands of people in his home state of Georgia. Senator Ossoff ought to send that tainted, dirty money back. If he's raised $3 million off of the shutdown, off of the suffering he's caused, just so that he can get some more money from radicals around the country, go look at his finance report during the shutdown. The low-dollar donations that he's more concerned about getting than opening up the government, which is the right thing to do, because they're scared to death of their base, because they want to keep getting low-dollar donations from the most radical members of the Democrat Party. That's what this is about. And we've been saying it, but now that Hill article truly exposed it.
And so again, there's obviously a conflict here. The Democrats pretend as if they're representing their people, but they're not. They are exploiting you. And the same crowd that's constantly giving us freaking sermons about the people and the kids and the downtrodden and the most vulnerable. Time and time again, you can tell they prioritize their donor lists above the everyday people that they claim to represent. Just like during COVID when they shut down your small business, but they made sure that Walmart and McDonald's and all the big multinational firms, they made sure they were open, setting record profits. It's always the same pattern now, isn't it? It's the fake philanthropy of the Democrat Party. That's the brand. The smiles, the slogans. Boy, do Democrats love a good slogan. They love photo ops at the food bank. Then they're the same party that votes to extend the suffering because the pain was their leverage, right? They posture as these guardians of the downtrodden. But really, they're using those very people as human shields for their political agenda. And of course, it seems as ATM machines for their damn campaigns. The shutdown was more about politics, it was more about driving the vote, and of course driving fundraising, than it was anything else. Just like the impeachment against President Trump, right? That's why Adam Schiff was willing to lie so constantly and egregiously. It wasn't about justice, it was about those Act Blue donations under every single one of his posts. Donald Trump colluded with the Russians, and I have the evidence. Trust me, it's coming one day. And if you want me to release that evidence, evidence, well, go ahead and scroll down and click my Akaboo donation and send me $25, will ya? It's transparently corrupt. It's obvious. And this is why the Democrats cling to the dependent system that they have created. It's their oxygen. A robust, independent middle class does nothing for them. People who are dependent and self-sufficient are too hard to scare. They're impossible to herd around like sheep. But a population, or a good chunk of the population, that's bound to programs and empty political promises, well, they're easier to manipulate. And of course, that's the two extremes of the Democrat Party. The people who are dependent, seemingly hopeless by design, and then of course the emotionally susceptible elitists, the people who do their charity work by voting for Democrat. Ooh, I'm voting for the Democrats. I've saved all poor people. The middle-aged Karens who want to feel as if they've done something, right? They've done something truly positive. Who needs to actually give back to community and be productive when I could just vote Democrat and then lecture everybody about how terrible they are and how amazing I am. This is obviously what's going on, and you could apply it to almost every facet of Democrat strategy. Let's look at the black vote. I mean, how do you think they keep 90% of black voters voting for them time and time again? It's the lavish rhetoric. It's the performative outrage. The welfare dependence. Make it seem as if you're the party of social rights and civil rights, standing up against this giant behemoth, this boogeyman of white supremacy. The whole thing's a ruse. Democrats aren't fixing any systemic racial issues. Those don't exist. Are there issues of racial inequality? Absolutely. Are they fixing those? No. They make it worse. And obviously that's because there's no actual incentive to make it better. The moment you fix the problem and allow people to do for themselves, to succeed on their own, well then, what do you need the Democrat Party for? The Democrats would lose everything that gets them elected in the first place. The manufacturing of crises, the actual pain that's being caused, the inequality, all the problems, those are what Democrats run on and fundraise on. That is more important to Democrats than doing good, than doing right by the country or by the people of the country. No, they inflicted pain.
We're going to reopen the government as soon as these Democrats in the House give us the chance to vote on it. It'll get done. In the meantime, what you just played, it's very sad. I mean, 40 days plus they shut down this government. And for what, Brian? For absolutely nothing except to hurt the American people. It's the exact same CR that we passed back on September 19th. The only difference is you now have a new date of the end of January, and then they added the 3 appropriations bills that were basically ready to go back in September. So this has been a bunch of nonsense, and his gibberish that he keeps pushing out, it's doing nothing for the American people. They're smarter than the soon-to-be former leader, I believe, of the minority in the House gives Americans credit for.
That's the reality, and it's done by design. And if you can't see it, well then I don't know. Maybe send John Ossoff $25 freaking.
I tell you, boy, what a time to be alive, man. And I told y'all this shutdown was going to expose a lot of things, a lot of people. And it was really going to get worse and worse and worse for the Democrat Party on this pointless shutdown. And it's going to be a huge face into the spit in the face of the American people. You know, I told you, but we are not stupid. The majority of Americans are not stupid, man. You know, and this is why people are the way they are when it comes to these politicians, you know. And the view of both parties, you know, this is why. But especially the downfall of the Democratic Party. You just can't make this up. Weigh in with your thoughts. Love y'all, and I will catch y'all on the next one. Peace and love, family.